Hi everybody, it's Miss Lorenz. I'm going to go over lesson 5. Hopefully you have your lesson 5 work in front of you and you are ready to go over it with me. Let's do this. All right, so how about green? You guys like green? How about this fun kind of dark green? All right, so for each parallelogram you had to identify a base and a corresponding height and record them in this table and then find the area. So you can see I've already recorded the base and height for each of these parallelograms. In A, the base is 4 and the height is 6. It's a nice rectangular parallelogram. So the area is simply 24 square units. In B, the base is 5 and then the height, I drew it outside of the parallelogram from the opposite vertex. And so it's like an imaginary height when I extended the base in like an imaginary line. So it's a 5 by 3, which is 15 units squared. In C, I called this the base of 2, and then I extended from the opposite vertex down to the imaginary base extension to make my perpendicular intersection there, and I have a 2 by 3 because the height is 3, and that would be a 6 units squared. In D, I'm calling this the base. So then the height, I could either call this the height, well, I could call it really anything along this parallel line to the opposite vertex, the height. So you can see that I drew it here outside of the parallelogram and then extended the base in an imaginary line. But no matter where you draw it, you'll see the height is 2. And so 4 times 2 is 8 square units. And so I have, if the base is B and the height is H, the area is found by just multiplying B times H. So here we're going to select all parallelograms that have a correct height labeled for the given base. So if this is the base, this is the height. Yes, that's correct. If this is the base, then this diagonal line is not the height. Is not. The height would be where you go from the opposite vertex and go straight down with like a dotted line, or this could be the height, or this could be the height, or this could be the height. So, or you could extend this imaginary from the opposite vertex, and that could be the height. So, yeah, B was not labeled correctly. C, if this is the base, then yes, that's the height. It looks a lot like I was just explaining in B. And then in D, if this is the base, absolutely that can be the height. And so can that be the height. All right. So, in number 3, the side labeled B has been chosen as the base for the parallelogram. So we're going to draw in the height according to that base. And then we're also going to label the opposite vertex. So here's the opposite vertex right here. And then we're going to draw in the height. And I'm going to extend that base so that you can see that they do in fact meet at a 90-degree angle. Number 4, find the area of each parallelogram. Well, I know I'm just going to multiply the base times the height. And so in A, I'm going to multiply 4 by 2, and I get 8 square units. In B, I'm going to multiply 5 by 2, and I'm going to get 10 square units. And in C, I'm going to multiply 2, that's the base, by 4 is the height. And so I'm going to get 8 square units. Isn't it interesting that C and A have the same area? And that's because they share the same base height pairs. All right. Number 9, find the area of each parallelogram and then show your calculations. So again, base times height. So in this case, 9 times 4 is 36, and these are centimeters, so we're going to square those centimeters. In B, we're going to multiply 5, and you got to be careful here because this diagonal 5 is not what we need. We need the height. So 5 times 4 is 20 square centimeters. I think the reason that they put that 5 there isn't necessarily to trick you, but maybe to show you that this is a special parallelogram where all the sides are going to be equal in length, and a parallelogram that has those dimensions is called a rhombus. When you were in kindergarten, you probably called it a diamond, but rhombus is the technical mathematical term for that. And then the last one, if this is the base, then this is the height, and we're going to find that by multiplying base times height. When we multiply and we have letters like this that are representing numbers, we don't need the multiplication sign, so we can just write BH, and that means base times height, or B times H. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this has been really helpful. Since this is lesson 5, you are now to gather all of your things. make an appointment with me, work on a superset, and then you'll be hopefully ready to go on to the next 5 lessons. Alrighty, thank you.